Hello, and welcome to Weather Watch, Millersville University's exclusive weather news program. I'm your host, Grant Carlton. Let's get started by catching you up in the weather that made headlines in the past few weeks with your weather in 60 seconds.
Hurricane Patricia crashing into Mexico, huge electrical storms in Sydney, and the fire hose in the Carolinas are all part of this edition of Your Weather in 60 Seconds. Starting in Mexico late October, Hurricane Patricia, one of the strongest hurricanes recorded, hit the coast of Mexico as a Category 5 storm, threatening thousands. People are still recovering from the flash floods and mudslides that it caused. Traveling all the way over to Sydney, Australia, where the people there experienced massive electrical storms. These storms not only brought lots of lightning, but loud claps of thunder, hail, torrential rain, and power outages across many towns. Ending in the Carolinas, people are still recovering from the fire hose, or atmospheric river of tropical moisture that covered them. Little River, South Carolina received 16 inches of rain in 24 hours, setting a new record for the state. And that's a wrap for this edition of Your Weather in 60 Seconds.
Next, let's roll right into Your Weather 101, where Weather Watch's Elizabeth Moorhead dives into the natural phenomena of roll clouds.
On the afternoon of October 8th, residents of the Clarence Valley along the north coast of Australia were treated to a spectacular sight of a roll cloud moving through their region. Roll clouds are large clouds that can be hundreds of meters long and can persist for several hours. To better understand this natural phenomenon, let's take a look at how clouds form. Clouds are formed when moist air becomes cool enough for water vapor to condense into water droplets or ice crystals. These droplets condense onto tiny particles of dust and debris in the air called condensation nuclei, forming many different types of clouds. There are different reasons that clouds form. The roll cloud along the Australian coast was formed when a trough came into the area, set up a wave in the atmosphere. As the wave moves through the atmosphere, the warm, moist air rises along the front, creating a cloud. As the air sinks again, the cloud dissipates. Roll clouds are a rare phenomenon, but you don't need to travel to Australia to see them. There have been reports of roll clouds off the coast of New Jersey this past summer, along with ones associated with thunderstorms in Illinois. For MU Weather Watch, I'm student meteorologist Elizabeth Moorhead, and this has been your Weather 101.
Thanks, Elizabeth. In the past month, a tornado made its way through Lancaster County. Weather Watch's Ben Bonner goes into further detail with this event.
On the morning of Wednesday, September 30th, 2015, the residents of East Hempfield Township in Lancaster County were rudely awakened by a severe thunderstorm rolling through the area. When the sun arose over the horizon the next morning, many began to speculate if this severe thunderstorm had produced something a little bit more out of the ordinary. With the damage revealed and the National Weather Service on the scene, it was determined that an EF1 tornado had spun up overnight, causing a very narrow swath of damage. This left many residents of the area with a slight nervousness about how this tornado had just appeared with no warning at all. With that said, this isn't the only occurrence that a warning hasn't been posted. So how exactly common is it?
So it's actually very uncommon that tornadic signatures or any areas of rotation go completely unnoticed by radar. The radar array, the network, is specifically designed to be able to capture any sort of rotation or any sort of couplets that there may be. That's because the radar actually scans on a schedule. So if it's scanning, say, every 2, 3, or 4 minutes and something spins up in between those scans, it can go completely missed by the radar, and it can be something that can actually come as a total surprise for meteorologists, for the folks working at the National Weather Service, and of course for the public itself.
So obviously, with no warning, a situation like this could be very dangerous, correct?
A situation like this is definitely very dangerous, and of course it could have been even worse if it had struck as a little bit stronger, or perhaps if it had struck not necessarily near the warehouse or near Route 30, if it had really impacted its worst damage in a more populated neighborhood.
While most tornadoes can be seen on radar or velocity scans, some do go unnoticed, whether they just be hidden or too small to be detected. However, knowing how to prepare for a tornado and knowing all the safety steps will always leave you with a peace of mind. Reporting for Weather Watch, I'm student meteorologist Ben Bonner.
Well, that concludes this episode of Weather Watch. Please be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can also check us out on our website, millersville.com, to watch all of our previous videos. On the behalf of the entire cast and crew, thanks for watching, and be sure to catch us next time.